Hi everyone. This video is for all students enrolled in the 8th grade digital photography fine art elective at Presbyterian School. I've created this video because you are enrolled in the 5-week online course, which is a collaborative digital storytelling project. It's a very exciting project that we're doing in which we'll be collaborating with our youngest students at the school, the betas. Um, I've created this to sort of walk you through the online setup, things like how to log in, how to access course info, things like that, just so you're not confused and you know how to access everything. Because, as I said, this course is all online and all assignments, all readings, all videos, and resources are all posted online for you to view and access. Most of the work will be done in class. However, all class discussions and other resources, as I mentioned, will be online. So I want to see lots of activity in the discussion boards. This is how you are going to access everything that you need for this course. So to get started, we are using Schoology as our learning management platform. This is just a system that we're using that's going to store all of our resources and how you're going to log in and see everything that we're going to need to complete this 5-week course. So you all have been given an access code to join our Presbyterian School course. So what you're going to do is either on your iPads or on your computers, you're going to go to schoology.com, www.schoology.com, as you see here. And what you'll need to do is hit login. And let's see, let's wait for it to come up a bit. Oh, well, it looks like I was already logged in. But what you'll do is you're going to need to enter in your Presbyterian School email address and password that we went over in class. Again, you've all been given the access code to access the class. So once you're logged in and you see your name at the top, you're going to go to courses and you're not yet a part of the course. So what you're going to need to do is join. You're going to need to select join. This is where you're going to enter that access code that I gave you guys in class. Once you enter that in, you will automatically be a part of our course. So let me go to the home page of the course. This is what you'll see upon entering the course. The course is called a Collaborative Digital Storytelling Project, and this is where all materials, everything is housed. It's very easy to access, very user-friendly. So once you're in, this is what you should see. Just to sort of recap and give a little background information, we've already gone over sort of basics of camera function, components of photography, like going over aperture, f-stop, all that good stuff. Now what we're going to do is have this really fun collaborative project with our betas. So what's going to happen is that each of you will be assigned to 3 or 4 beta students. You'll have the opportunity to sit one-on-one with them, interact, and play with them so that they feel comfortable with you. Um, Once all that repertoire has been made, what we're going to do is each of you will sit down with a beta and you're going to let them tell you a story. This can be absolutely any story. It may be a story that's related to what they're going over in class, or it could be just a completely random story. You're going to let them tell you a story. As they tell you the story, your job is to write down the story, handwrite it on a piece of paper as they're telling it to you. um, what we're going to end up doing is you are going to use that story as a reference, and you are to create images, photographs to accompany that story. What you're essentially doing is making scenes to a story. And what's going to be really cool is that you're going to have to get creative, think outside the box. How are you going to create a visual for a story that a 3 and 4-year-old is going to tell you? Because you'll see a lot of times their stories can be completely random. They can be funny, and once you have taken down the story, you're going to be like, how in the world am I going to create images to go with this? So it's going to make you think outside the box, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of fun. And what a great way to collaborate with our youngest students at school. So, um, so that's sort of a little background. We will at the end, in addition to your images, you are going to create a video narration, which we'll go over here in the course details. But um, again, you've logged in, you're inside the course. This is all you need to access all the information for the course. So you'll see our first page, our landing page is the introduction and course overview. Pretty much it goes over everything I just said. It goes over everything we're going to do in this class. And then once you come down here, you'll see that there's some additional resources. There's a course outline that you can see, some learning goals that I'd like you all to have learned at the end of this course. And then you're going to see our different units for each of the 5 weeks. Once the course has begun next week, what you're going to do is access week 1. In here, you'll see that the first page in each week is going to be a list of resources. These are things that I want you to read, to watch. They can be videos, articles, case studies, things like that. But these are the resources that you're going to need to have read and watched that's going to help you in the discussion boards each week and that are going to help you get started on this project. So, week 1, we are learning really what is storytelling. This is a collaborative project. Storytelling can mean two different things in photography, and it can mean something completely different in early childhood for the betas. So, you're going to learn um, why is storytelling important in early childhood, and you're also going to learn how is storytelling, how can photography lend itself to storytelling. We're sort of putting the two together. So, those are your resources for week 1. Each week is going to have a discussion board. So in the discussion board, you're going to click. And what I really want is I just want a lot of activity in the discussion boards. Each week you'll have some points of reference that can sort of help you guide your discussion post, things that I'd like you to think about after reading the readings and videos. For example, this week, I want you to sort of recap what is storytelling and how has storytelling played a role in your life growing up in school. How are you going to use photography as a way of storytelling? And, um, using photographs, I want you to explain some of the elements that create a good storytelling project. So each week you'll have some points to consider. Everyone is required to submit a discussion post each week. I will be monitoring the posts, and what I really want is, in addition to your discussion post, I would like you to respond to 3 other classmates' posts. This is how we're going to get those great discussions rolling. Is we want the activity, and we really want you guys to expand and think. So we want you to respond to at least 3 other posts. If you'd like to do more, that's great. But I will be looking at how many um, posts you are responding to. And then, apart from our resources and discussion, you'll have the activity that we're going to be doing each week. To start off, we're going to be practicing taking each other's story in the classroom. And then we're going to have the opportunity to go down, observe the betas, interact with them, and then eventually you'll be taking their stories. So you'll click on each activity, and it'll take you to a more detailed overview of what that activity is. So let's see, I just clicked on it. It's being a little slow. Here it kind of recaps. After being assigned to 3 to 4 students, you're to observe me, Miss B, taking a story. Things to consider. You're going to take note that you are to physically handwrite the story, record it, show excitement, just some tips on what you'll need to do for that activity. So essentially, really, that's it. The class is broken down into 5 weeks, and each week you'll access the new unit that we're going to go over. So first week again is just a background of storytelling. You'll see we're going to talk about collaboration. Week 3 is a big week. Let me click on that. Um, Week 3, we have already taken all the stories. You've already sort of started brainstorming how you're going to photograph these stories. Week 3 is when we're going to have a critique. This is our first critique of the course. It's going to be an in-class progress critique. And so what you've done up to this point is you've started photographing scenes for the stories. And what I'd like to happen is that when you come to class on February 24th, You are to immediately begin um, displaying your artwork. If you have printed photographs, we're going to put them up on the walls. If we need to project images, we'll go ahead and get that set up. But we're going to go around and as a class, we're going to look at everyone's work so far. Um, the critique is a big part of our grades for the course. And so I want you all to be prepared to receive feedback and suggestion from peers. Um, are your images accurately telling their story? Are you keeping in mind the elements that make a good photograph? Things like that. We're all going to give you feedback and suggestions. And so this is all to help you. Again, you'll have your resources discussion. And then in week 5, you'll have your last critique. So let's see. Let's just go to week 5. We'll go over installation. In week 5, once everything is complete, you have all your images, we've created our video, um, we're going to install the work. This is huge. Installation is another, huge thing that can affect how viewers interpret the art. So we are going to set the images up. We're going to have QR codes to access each of the videos, and this is going to be a really great thing because it's all going to come together. We'll have a final critique at the end of the course, in which it won't be a progress critique, but we'll go over everything you've done thus far, how everything played out, and how how well it all looks once it's up. So that's it in a nutshell. It kind of goes over background. Once you're in here, this is all you need. We have some important dates here, and then again, all work will be done in class. So